WAN show. We have a special guest here right now with us is John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Normally we do lower thirds for these guys, but sorry, John, we did not get our crap together in time today. So do you want to do a brief introduction to yourself and what you're all about? I'm sure they all know who you are.
Sure. I'm John Rettinger. I run a site called Techno Buffalo. You can check us out there or youtube.com/Techno Buffalo where we play with toys.
So basically you do what we do, except like more professional.
I don't know. I think you do an awesome job. I've been following your computer build you've been doing. It looks incredible.
Awesome. So, of course, the thing that we brought you on for today is not strictly to talk about a computer build or really computers at all, because Apple had a pretty big event this week and they had some pretty crazy stuff to show off. And now normally when I say, yeah, man, they had like this event and like they had like crazy stuff to show off. I mean, like, yeah, it was like bananas and like flames painted on the freaking side. This time we're talking, they legitimately appear to have completely lost their minds. What is up? Okay. Let's start with the watch. Let's start with the watch. We'll leave the punchline for later. What's up with the pricing and functionality and battery life of the Apple Watch? What's your take on this?
Okay, so I was at the event. I had a chance to play with the watch and what I think you're probably going to talk about next. The watch looks great. The screen is beautiful. The UI is super smooth. But it pretty much does what every other smartwatch. I got the Moto 360 on my wrist. It pretty much does what every other smartwatch does, save for the cool feature of being able to draw little penises to your friends and send them off. Other than that, the features just aren't there yet. There's no compelling reason to go out and buy one,
John,
especially at that price point.
John, I gotta stop you for a minute. I can draw penises on my wrist and send those to my friends.
Send them right off. Right off.
I am so sold right now.
And the funny part is, I saw 3 people doing that at the event.
Wow. That's awesome.
Really? Wow.
I was not one of them.
Sure you were. Yeah, whatever, man.
At least, I didn't get caught being one of them.
So there's a total of at least 4 then, because there's the 3 you saw, and then there's you.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that is great. Okay, so let's talk pricing. There's actually a great thread on the. I'm still getting like my doc together and all that. I'm just completely behind the 8 ball, guys. We've only got John for like another 15 minutes because he has a family or some crap like that. So we wanted to get on the air and get talking to him about this because it's freaking awesome. But let's talk pricing of the Apple Watch. So the sport version, the kind of Casio competitor, the Timex, sort of class product here. $350 to start? Does that seem crazy to you?
For the small one too, the 38 millimeter on like a normal dude wrist looks tiny, like tiny.
Right.
Yeah, it's about $100 higher than I expected. In all honesty, I mean, Apple always has that sort of price premium. Functionality-wise, there's no difference functionality between the Sport and like the $10,000 edition. Function, no difference at all. The pricing, the pricing is not where I think they lost their damn mind, at least from the announcements that they made. But they definitely are pushing the envelope for what people are going to be tolerant towards.
It does really feel that way. I mean, I think, because, I mean, it's clear what they're trying to do. They're trying to invent a category again, or at the very least, reinvent a category again, the way that they did with the iPad. But the problem with that is that the iPad was never really done very well. And I think you could make the argument that some of the other smartwatches that exist now are done pretty well. The Moto 360 is a good watch. The G Watch R is an excellent smartwatch. And Apple, in my mind, made basically there are 2 fundamental flaws or deadly sins that have been committed here. Number 1 is they're asking a huge premium for something that doesn't blow the doors off what's available already. And number 2 is it's not a watch. To me, a watch is a thing that goes on your wrists and tells you the time all the time. And something that doesn't have an always-on screen, to me, is just... But then again, you probably disagree with me, because I'm sure you could have a G Watch R if you felt like it. You wear a Moto 360. argue with me for the validity of a screen that's not always on.
That's a tough one.
Oh, all right.
It's a tough one, but you know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate because half the time I'm only looking at my wrist when I click at my wrist. As soon as I bring it up, it's on. I see what I need. I don't need to see my wrist when it's down by my side. I'd rather save the battery life. Is about the only argument I could make if I disagreed with you.
Ah, okay. So are we on the same page here? Kind of going like I've been hoping that all the rumors coming out of Apple were bullshit. That it was just it was gonna have an OLED screen somehow, and it was gonna only illuminate the pixels that it needed, and it was gonna somehow show me the time all day. And this whole like 4 hour, 5 hour of screen time battery life nonsense was gonna be complete hokum. But that didn't happen. So are we going to see a quick iteration like we did from iPad to iPad 2 where the Apple Watch 1 just kind of quietly gets forgotten and gets updated for much shorter a period of time, and actually Apple Watch 2 ends up being the one that delivers the experience?
So this is what makes me really nervous about the watch at that price point.
That's right.
Nobody knows what the upgrade cycle is going to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to meet, and I'm going to choose my descriptive words carefully, the individual who goes out to spend $10,000 plus on a watch. And, like, I get going out and buying a Rolex, buying something like that. Like, I can at least wrap my head around that. But this is a piece of technology that is going to be upgraded probably sooner than 18 months.
Okay. So here's my issue. So another issue with the watch. Oh man,
Yes.
We are definitely going to run at least a couple minutes past 5. Please tell your wife not to kill me. Because okay. So issue with the watch. Now we've already talked about how the Sport Edition, the $349 one, is already overpriced. Let's talk about the $10,000 super expensive ones, and we'll get into this later on the show, you guys. How the Apple Gold is not actually as much gold as other gold. We'll talk about that later. But the $10,000+ watches. Now, we all know why people buy something like that. They buy it because it makes them feel like a big man with a big penis. But the justifications, the reasons they say aloud are going to be things like, it's a timeless fashion statement. I will wear it for 50 years. This is something we hear said. We hear, in the apocalypse, my Rolex will still keep time when all the satellites
Or
and,
if I'm diving so far underwater, or if I'm wherever the heck.
in the most extreme conditions, this is a piece of craftsmanship that will perform to its utmost ability forever, basically. We hear these arguments. For the Apple Watch, they have to appeal to that customer. How? By showing you text messages on your wrist? Wrong customer. That's my man. Who is going to buy the $10,000 watch? Do you think it's... Am I wrong? Are people just going to do it anyway?
I gotta tell you, that was probably the most eloquent synopsis of the Edition watch that I have absolutely heard. It absolutely well said. That's who they're competing with. And listen, I can understand going out and spending a lot of money on a watch if that's your thing. People spend their money on whatever they choose to.
Car,
but you're right,
watch, clothes, whatever.
And the thing about Rolex, there's a huge market for used watches. There's a huge market. Those, if they don't appreciate, if they don't appreciate in value, which some of them do, depreciation is not huge. You try selling that your Apple Edition watch the day after Apple Edition 2 comes out?
Good luck.
Good luck. And you want to sell it for the gold that's in it?
Yep.
I think it might sell okay, but I don't think it's going to sell okay for very long. I think it's going to be very much a like, oh, look how baller I am, but then no one's going to care. So it might be a problem. So I actually think maybe if when it becomes iterations of 2, 3, whatnot, they might have more of a hard time selling those gold ones than this first launch.
Because John brought up another good point. The investment aspect. It's like buying a classic design Rolex is kind of like buying a classic car. You expect it to, at the very least, hold its value. And something like a dress watch, a jewelry watch, you expect to do even better because it's worth its weight in gold, at the very freaking least.
Yeah.
Whereas the Apple Watch doesn't manage to do that either. And then your point, building on your point about it being about impressing the people who are impressed by that, I don't think the kinds of guys who you're going to want to rub elbows with at that cocktail party and would be impressed by your freaking awesome Rolex are going to give two craps about your like digital
Yeah,
gizmo.
but I think people will think
agree.
that they will, and then once they kind of realize, oh, that doesn't really matter.
Then
And
it
that's why I
dies?
said later in iterations, I don't think it'll sell as well.
I can't figure out who's going to buy this. Perhaps other than a certain unnamed boy genius. I can't see who would possibly pick up anything like this.
I don't know. You know what's funny? Is back when the pricing rumors were circulating, I was telling myself, you know what? Just for the sake of drawing more eyeballs to my Apple Watch review, I'll go ahead and I'll buy whatever the highest end one is. And you know what? It's too crazy. I can't even, because normally what I would do with something like that is I'd flip it when I'm done, and I'd
Of course.
say, right. I don't even think I'll be able to flip it. I don't think anyone will be.
What YouTubers do you think are going to pick this up?
I think Marcus might do it just
And
because he can.
unbox?
I think Lou might do
I
it
think
just
Lou
because he
and
can.
Marcus might jump on it.
But like,
So there's 2 sales right there.
yeah. So maybe I'll buy their used one. That'll be my
Yeah,
trick.
I mean, it works for a lot of people. I'm not of the buy everything school of YouTube.
Me
You
neither.
know, it's just not what we do. But I mean, there's certainly a market for it, and people will do it. And I think I'd watch a video that they did. You know.
All right, we got 6 minutes left if we're gonna try and get you out of here on time. So let's move on to the MacBook. Can I launch the opening salvo here?
Do it.
I'm not gonna talk
it.
ports. I'm not even gonna talk ports. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for you. Okay, so the MacBook. Apple unleashes the MacBook. I'm not gonna talk color either. Now, Apple had a MacBook, and once upon a time, the MacBook made sense in the grand scheme of Apple's lineup. We had the MacBook Pro. This was for your content creators. This was before Apple completely forgot about content creators and then pretended they remembered content creators and gave them that little cylinder PC. So when they had the MacBook Pro for creators, and it was large and it was heavy, and you lived with that because damn it was powerful. It was good. Okay? Then they had the MacBook. That was the consumer model. That was the one that had, kind of everything that Katie needs. And Katie could buy that and be confident that she could FaceTime or, happy hour or whatever it is that people do on MacBooks. Okay, then they introduced the MacBook Air. And that made sense. So Air was light and Pro was Pro. And the MacBook was like the vanilla one. Now we've got the MacBook. A thinner, lighter Air. What? What is this naming? What are they doing? Explain this to me. You were there. Surely you had an opportunity to ask someone.
So that's my exact. If the MacBook is all about thin and light, what the hell is the Air about?
Why did they even refresh the Air?
Why is the Air still existent? And now the Air looks so busted with its giant ass bezels and non-retina display. Like, it looks so old and busted. And I imagine the Air now has giant profit margins with it. I can't see why somebody would buy an Air now.
Okay, but then hold on. So let's move into the next.
Wait, there's more.
But wait, it gets even more ridiculous. Okay. I promised I'd let you do this one. So what's the gotcha with the MacBook?
Okay, so there are 2 gotchas, and the one's not even being talked about. Before I get to the big one,
Yeah.
M processor.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, fanless, no
Yes.
problem.
I don't mind the M processor. So I'll let you finish, but I'm actually going to argue this point. Go ahead though.
So I'm curious to test the M processor. And let me at least say that. I've tested it on PCs. If it's as capable as everybody's suspecting, then that's a no argument. I'm not expecting it to do heavy 3D rendering or video editing on this computer. If it can play StarCraft, if I can edit some photos on it, then that's probably going to be good enough. And if I can play 4K videos back from YouTube, then I won't complain, and that's a non-issue. The big one for me, I'm sitting here at my office, and at home I have a similar setup. I'm looking at an iMac, and to my right, I'm looking at a Thunderbolt display, which I'd like to continue to use.
well, you just suck at life, apparently.
Yeah.
Imagine,
So
you believed the lie. You invested in the Thunderbolt ecosystem. You're a sucker.
Okay, so new MacBook comes out with 1 port. It's USB-C. First of all, USB-C is great. 1 port for everything. Love the idea of USB-C. You can charge it, external batteries, all the adapters. Great. But 1 port. And there are a billion adapters that obviously are going to come out third party. But $80 for the Apple sanctioned adapter lets you do what your computer should do out of the box. And beyond that, my $1,000 display is useless to me. It's a USB hub. It is a big ass USB hub.
It's
So
a
let's
really
say-
beautiful one.
Yeah. So I took my MacBook with me to the Apple event. Let's say next year I want to take my MacBook with me to the Apple event. Here's what I need. I need my MacBook.
Yeah.
I need the charging cable.
Yes.
I need a USB adapter
Yes,
that
you do.
can go for an SD card.
Yep.
I need another USB adapter that I can plug in a thumb drive.
Yep.
Or maybe I need another USB-C adapter. That's
Or
what I'm
just
using.
or just one USB adapter and a hub. Like even
So
a
now-
non-powered hub.
So now at the very least, I need 2 dongles or 1 dongle and a hub. If
With
I
like a brick
forget
in it
that-
or something.
If I forget that or lose it, or God forbid it breaks, that computer is useless. It's a beautifully designed, gorgeous, useless piece of crap to me at that event.
You could bring 2 of all of the above. But then let's
Or
talk
be Brandon, bring 5.
Let's talk. I mean, both Lenovo and Asus have gone
Yeah.
full-on
Oh,
shots
yeah.
fired mode at Apple over this computer. Lenovo showed the Yoga 3, and Asus showed the UX 305, and they went, "What is going on here? I think it was what Yoga 3 was thinner." And UX 305 was slightly thicker, but actually has ports. And I'm kind of sitting here going, okay, hold on a second, Apple. Let me comprehend this for a second. I'm going to try, because I probably won't be able to. But I'll try anyway, because you deserve it. You have billions of dollars or something. Therefore, I should try to understand you. You are going to save me 0.2 millimeters, and then I have to carry, like... a bunch of dongles, so I have to legitimately buy. It's like my objection to the iPad at the beginning, and I still object to the 10-inch tablet form factor. I don't think it makes a ton of sense. I called it the uncarryable device at the time because it doesn't fit in your pocket and it doesn't justify carrying around a backpack for it. So unless you have a purse, which I don't, you can't carry it. And that, to me, is what a laptop that requires dongles is. It's an uncarryable device, because I'm going to have to get a dedicated bag to carry the MacBook. And we haven't even talked about the color yet, because I'm going to want a bag to put that in, because it is obscenely ugly.
So listen, I think that this MacBook is making the Yoga 3 Pro and the Surface Pro 3 going to sell even better. I mean, I think those things are going to fly off the shelf, especially with Windows 10 coming. The Yoga Pro 3 is awesome and has ports.
That shouldn't even be a selling point.
Ports. Oh,
That's
no.
what the world has come to. Why is actual ports a selling point? I mean, Apple has done this to us before. I mean, are they just so arrogant that they've gone, okay, well, they've accepted that we outright refuse to put a micro SD card reader in our friggin' phones for the last 8 years or however long the iPhone has existed. People have accepted that, so screw them. Let's take away all the ports from everything.
When they were doing the announcement and you heard sort of Johnny Ive's voice come over, the whole unapologetically plastic thing came back to my mind, but all I can envision is them going like this. Oh, they smell delicious. Oh, Vibe's delicious farts.
Unapologetically plastic was the best line he has ever spoken. Ever spoken. Ever.
I mean, okay, the colors. The space gray looks great.
I don't get what's up with the colors. There's space gray and silver. Why are you so mad?
Gold.
Yeah.
So don't buy it.
Well, okay. The problem is, okay. Let's go back. Sorry, John. You can go at any time. I know you have to go. That's fine. But I want to talk gold products for a minute. Do you remember how and John, I don't know how closely you follow the PC world, like motherboards and crap like that.
You had an option.
But do you remember when Asus launched their Gold Series Z87 motherboards? They made all their motherboards gold. And you know why they did it? They said, because we are the gold standard, we are #1 in motherboards, and as much as that was a very Taiwanese rationale for it, for better or for worse, I believe they were actually the first to kick that stupid anodized, blasted gold finish and kind of go, yes, this is the future. And we hated it.
Before.
We hated it then.
There was gold iPhones.
Were there before? Okay,
Pretty sure
I'm
there
not
was.
sure about the timing of that, so don't quote me on that. But the point is, they did it, and we destroyed them for it. We absolutely destroyed them
Because
for
there
it.
was no option. There's silver and space gray though.
Now Apple's gonna do it.
There's silver and space
I
gray.
know, but Apple's gonna do it, and the whole industry's gonna go, oh, people demand gold, and they're gonna make gold products. You look at Samsung's doing it already. HTC is doing it already. when did gold, not like yellow gold, turn from like a tacky color for old people to hip and fashionable?
I don't like it. I just find it hard to be mad at this when you can easily buy space gray, which looks really good, or silver, which is what we've already
I tend to agree. I mean, if that was the only color option, I would be enraged. But
yeah,
like,
if the only color option was gold, I would be going after this harder than I went after its suits, because this is ridiculous. And you're going to see the color of your laptop more than you're going to see the color of your motherboard, which is nuts. But there's silver and space gray, and Apple seems to like their colors. I don't think they're going to narrow it down to just one color either.
Until we get pink for next generation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's get a pink.
He's not going to attack anyone.
Actually, I would like the pink one.
Yeah,
I'd be totally
love the pink laptop.
I'd be totally down for the pink one.
Yeah.
Can we get
Metallic
that
pink?
recorded?
It's
I would
recorded.
like that to be noted for iPhone 6s. Linus will have the pink version.
That is on the internet.
Yeah.
It is done.
Yeah.
I would do it. I would do it 100%.
Yeah.
I'm playing this back, by the way, come September. I'm just letting you know.
So, okay, I mean, those were the highlights. This is what I really wanted to get you on to really to talk about, because I know that mobile devices is your friggin' wheelhouse. I figured maybe you could shed some light on this.
Yeah.
I have no light to shine on. I did a whole video on it being like, I don't know why you would get one. But I don't know.
People will buy it. People will buy it.
People will, and they'll sell out.
Yeah.
But like, I don't
It
know.
just depends how much they'll sell out. Like, will they sell out and then be hard to get, or will they sell out and then kind of sit on shelves after that?
They will sit on shelves for like a super long time.
Hopefully.
I think.
We'll see. Post Steve Jobs Apple, man. It's not the same.
Yeah. The reports of Apple's demise are obviously exaggerated, but man,
Oh,
I don't know what they're
I'm not saying
thinking.
demise. I'm just saying it's very different now that
It is very different.
I mean, can we put our cynicism hats on here for a moment? I wish I had mine. It's in the closet over there. I have a cynicism hat. And can we just kind of go, well, Apple had to reinvest their sapphire glass, facility. They had to repurpose that for a data center. So they got to figure out how to sell you more iCloud storage or something. So they were like, well, how about no ports? Brilliant. Let's do it.
Oh my God, no ports.
So can I play devil's advocate for just a minute here?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll do it for the watch and the MacBook.
Okay.
If I were Apple and I was, running a business such as they do, and I was Tim Cook, say, listen, we make our money not in hardware profit margins. Certainly they're there.
Yeah, they're definitely there.
And they're definitely there. iPhone business is obviously huge, bigger than Google and Microsoft. Our bread and butter now is just becoming our app ecosystem, becoming our ecosystem.
Right.
Anything that we can do to get people inside that ecosystem to spend another 99 cents on another app that's probably already on their phone that they want to put on the wrist, that's worth us doing. And even if our profit margins on this watch are 10%, if we spread out our release cycle to 18 months, because people maybe aren't going to want to buy a watch every year, by the time month 14 to 18 rolls around, those profit margins are 40 to 50%. And now we only need one out of every 1,000 iPhone owners to buy a watch, and we still make money. Just as an advocate, I can see the business case.
That just doesn't sound very Apple, though.
No, and in the meantime, we'll figure out what the hell people are going to do with it. Like when we'll come up with some killer feature for the next one.
Yeah. And that's the iPad 1 argument, I think. Mm-hmm. We'll create this device, we'll see what on earth is going on, and then we'll iterate quickly and make it way better.
Yeah. And then I totally agree with that. For the MacBook, I think that is like their Halo car. Let's show the world what we can do. We can do this because we're Apple. We can make a keyboard that supposedly has double click modes that doesn't even click because we are Apple. We'll make the most beautifully designed laptop. Who gives a shit that it only has one port? Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Is your Audi R8 practical? It only has 2 seats. Is your Lamborghini practical? It only has 2 seats. We got one port. I got one port because fuck it. We don't need more. You're buying this for the design, not for the performance. If you want more ports, buy one of our busted MacBook Airs.
Yeah. I don't think the cost of the additional ports is even going to factor into it that much, because it's just going to automatically be bundled every single time. If you're buying a MacBook, you don't care.
They're already spending $1,200 on a Core M.
You don't care. The thing I don't like is having to kind of haul it around and having it be this detached experience, and I will lose it. If I had a MacBook, that thing would be gone in 3 days. Max. Yeah. That's giving myself a lot. Like,
I'm in the same.
man, the lost and found of like every university English class is just gonna have like an entire bucket of these adapters. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Dongles everywhere.
Yeah.
Dongles as far as the eye can see.
Just nuts.
I just straight up couldn't do it. Whenever I don't have HDMI, I spaz on a laptop.
But you gotta remember what user.
Yeah.
What user's buying it.
Yeah.
A lot of users that are buying this will very rarely plug anything into it unless it's like speakers or headphones. Because you've got a keyboard.
All right.
You've got a mouse. You probably don't need video out.
Well, speaking of plugging, let's get John to do another plug for where you guys can find him and his opinions on Apple and Android and all that good stuff.
Sure.
Before he gets back to his family.
Before I do that, I just want to say I love what you guys do. I think you guys are absolutely awesome. Anytime I get a chance to come on here,
Aww.
I will do everything I can to make it work.
Thank you.
Followed your posts on Instagram. I love what you guys do, and I think you are some of the best in the industry at it.
Thank you.
If you want to check us out, it's phones, tablets, and just me getting super bitchy and cranky. You can check me out at youtube.com/technobuffalo or technobuffalo.com. But pay attention to this guy. This guy is a smart man. Hopefully I get a chance to come on again soon. Maybe we can film a video together.
We should totally do that. We have never collabed on anything.
Can we find a reason to collab? We can do like, I'll build a PC and something. Let's find, and I'm being honest. I'm gonna email you next week, and we're gonna find something to do.
I've got a couple ideas in that department, but you guys could do like if you did like a tag team battle of like destroying the new Apple products.
So
you guys did like literally like a tag team match video where you like tag each other in for different points, and like we have it like all edited and staged so it looks like an arena or whatever, and you guys just smash this thing.
We will find something. I'm sure we'll figure
I don't know.
something
That's just
out.
the first thing that
I
popped in
like
my
the
head.
idea. We can do a great debate and just like
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'd love to like wrap it or something.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know where this is going, but just you two. I don't know if you're on the same team.
It'll have to go
I don't know if
somewhere.
you're against each other.
It'll have to.
I'm on board, man.
I'm on board.
Maybe you guys have like a streamed coin flip like a week before, and one of you has to go on the side of defending the watch.
Oh wow.
I
That's
don't know.
tough.
We'll flip a coin. You
We'll
guys
figure
use your
something out.
MacBook as your only computer for a week.
Oh, I've got a lot of people asking for us to have you as like a special celebrity guest on Scrapyard Wars or something like that. That'd be super cool. Okay, whatever
We'll
it
figure
is, we'll
something out
figure
for
it
sure.
out. And thank you for the kind words. It means a lot coming from you because
Of course, man.
I've been following you forever since before I was like making YouTube videos pretty much. So thank you. Well,
Gordon,
not
thank you
before
guys. Have a good rest of the afternoon up there, and hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you soon.
All right,
Good one, man.
later, man.
Bye, guys.
All right, so guys, that was that's
Wow,
Crime
you're really
shame.
bad at this thing.
I'm basically the worst. Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you to John for joining us here on the WAN show. That was an absolute freaking blast. I mean, I don't know how much more we have to say, but what I will say is we definitely need to roll our intro because we haven't done it yet. So today's show is brought to you guys by lynda.com. Also Squarespace and Dollar Shave Club. Make your mind good, make your website good, and make your face look good. Yeah. Make everything look good.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we are going to do a little bit more Apple talk, but not much. They are lowering the price of Apple TV. And you know what? I'm just gonna. We never did like Victoria's Secret did a great job of the post on the forum. We never gave a
last
shout
time,
out
too.
to him.
He does a really good job with the Apple coverage.
Yeah, so you can basically check out Victoria's Secret's post on it, and he's got it all like tidily organized with like little spoiler tags and all that stuff. But there were a couple other things in there that were really important. So first of all, we only talked pricing for the entry level, the 38 and 42 millimeter Sport Edition. So that's $349 and $399.
Did you post this in the thing?
No, I didn't. I'm
Okay.
gonna go ahead.
Yeah.
You can get the stainless ones for between $550 to $1,100, and then starting at $10,000 for the edition, which we didn't even rip on with John.
The edition.
The edition.
It's such a great edition that it's called edition. It defines edition.
Thank you for that.
Unapologetically edition.
That's a good. Those are both pretty good lines. 18-hour battery life, according to 90 time checks, 90 notifications, 45 minutes of app use, and 30 minutes of working out with music playback per day. So, okay, that's the watch. We got through that. S1 processor, Siri, accelerometer, blippity bloop. Okay, so we got some MacBook stuff. We definitely talked MacBook. It is beautiful. I will give it that. High resolution, can't remember. It's like a 16 by 10, something by 1440. 2304 by 1440 because whatever conventional resolutions, screw those things. Here's the stupid adapter so you can actually have a USB port and an HDMI out.
Okay, I told you I didn't have time to look at any of this stuff. How do you plug in headphones?
So, what are you, an idiot? Headphones?
Is there just no...
I guess you're... Actually, I don't think it has one. I think you're expected to use Bluetooth, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
What if I want to use, like, non-Bluetooth?
No, you're an idiot then. You're doing it wrong.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So like, no Thunderbolt is the kicker to me here.
Yeah, that's super weird.
With Apple being
You know, they might have other versions of this breakout dongle, though. Like, they could have something later on in the line where you can have normal headphones and Thunderbolt and something else.
Well, Type-C is not gonna carry Thunderbolt.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, nope.
Wow.
So there's
See,
that.
like, I haven't looked at this at all. I didn't know that was Type-C. I
Yeah.
thought that, knowing them, I thought it was actually going to be Thunderbolt. Why is it Type-C?
Because they're pants-on head ridiculous.
That's so weird.
Thanks, Yahtzee, for that thing that I use all the time.
Yeah.
Apple TV is now $69. HBO is coming with HBO Now and the entire HBO catalog.
That's super cool.
Wow, how many people are going to cut the cord if they don't need their HBO subscription on cable?
To be able to get HBO,
lot.
I'd probably get that combo, although I'm not a fan of...
A lot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exclusive to Apple, at least for now. But at
And
$69,
US, I think.
at $69, the Apple TV is a bargain. I have one. It's a
Yeah,
good product.
if I could get HBO, if I could get HBO Now, I'd get an Apple TV.
And even
'Cause
if
I'd love to
you
get HBO Now.
if you aren't invested in the Apple ecosystem, like even if you're not going to cast from your phone to your Apple TV or whatever else, Apple TV is still a great product, even just for like streaming from like a home server or something, like your media collection. Netflix, it's a great little Netflix box, although not as good a Netflix box as the upcoming Nvidia Shield, but then that's $200. So if you don't need to do 4K Netflix, then...
What about like Steam Link?
Well, okay, so there's a whole bunch of other reasons why you might want something other than an Apple TV, but for strictly media consumption, Apple TV makes a ton of sense, especially at $70.
I would massively prefer Steam Link, to be completely honest. But at the same time, Steam Link would take up a computer.
And doesn't have HBO Now.
And it doesn't have HBO Now.
So there's that.
But the thing is, I can't even get HBO Now, because HBO Now is only US, isn't it? And they're like being super strict about that, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't
You know
looked too
how
much
Netflix
into
is like,
HBO Now.
oh yeah, well it's region locked, but it's pretty easy to get around. Like, I think HBO Now is being really restrictive, like credit card locations and like PayPal home addresses and stuff. Like, you can't sign up unless you have a payment option from that region.
Well, I'll have to rely on the Twitch chat to correct us on that, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not.
Apparently there is a 3.5mm port on the other side. There you go.
So if that's its own dedicated thing, I honestly don't think a lot of people are going to need that breakout box.
So headphone jack, USB 3... Well, you can't plug in like a USB flash drive.
So?
Period. Unless you have a Type-C flash drive, and you're willing to unplug your power to plug it in. So it's like...
A lot of people are starting to use stuff like Dropbox and Drive.
Super dumb, though.
I know. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be as impactful.
All right, everyone. We got it. The headphone jack is on the right. I have not done as much. Okay, so I'm going to be forthright with you guys. I have done almost 2 videos per day this week of my normal on my normal 1 video per day schedule. So I am not.
We just filmed? Yeah,
I am not as prepped as I would normally be for WAN show. We just filmed, and it's not even we did like all easy videos. We did a hardline build log over the last couple days,
Hardpipe, yeah.
which is like, oh,
It looks pretty sick.
It's pretty awesome.
It's really nice.
So whatever. Whatever. Okay, so let's go back to the, okay, I said that was the last Apple thing. No, I actually have one more Apple thing.
You're just a huge Apple fanboy, aren't you?
Also posted by Victoria's Secret. You want to go ahead and,
I think I linked that one already.
Okay, well, whatever. This is the amount of actual gold in the Apple Watch, and this is a great article on leancrew.com, and it talks about how...
Who should probably get their websites made by Squarespace.
Yeah, because it looks awful.
Yeah.
We'll do sponsors later, but... okay, so basically, the way that a carat works, a lot of people don't know this.
Nope, I didn't.
Okay, so carat for diamond refers to the weight. The actual, the weight of diamond. Now, carat is a measure of weight for gold, but actually refers to the percentage of mass, which colloquially we use weight and mass interchangeably here on Earth, since we're always going to be dealing with the same 9.8 meters per second squared of force from the Earth, which is going to allow a given mass to weigh a given amount on Earth. But of course, it'll weigh something else somewhere else. So if I interchange mass and weight, you know what? Screw off. So basically, carat is a measure of weight or mass or whatever the case may be. Now, with gold, the 18 or the 24 karat or the 10 karat or whatever doesn't actually refer to the entire mass or weight of the item. It refers to the percentage of the total volume,
really weird way to do that.
Volume of the item that is gold. Now, normally, when you make an 18 karat gold something or other, whether it's a watch or ring or whatever else, you would mix the gold with another metal in an alloy, such as silver, a much less expensive metal, because this does two things. Number one is it reduces the cost, and number two is it actually makes the gold usable. Pure gold is so malleable, it would be...
24 karat, I think, is 100%. I'm not sure.
I think 24 is still an alloy.
Is
Pure, I forget what it is. For silver, it's Troy, whatever the equivalent is. Pure gold, like 99.9% gold, would be pretty much unusable for jewelry. It would scratch all over the place. It would be heavier. It would actually be heavier than something that's alloyed with something else, and is just totally impractical on top of being more expensive. Now, normally, you would alloy it with a metal. What Apple has done is they have found a way to kind of create like a ceramic gold mixture instead of a metal alloy. So what this has done is a couple of things. It actually has some positive effects. So positive effect number one is that it makes it more scratch resistant. Positive effect number two is that it makes it lighter. And I guess, well, that's pretty much it. Positive effect number three for Apple, not necessarily for you, is that it makes it cheaper. Because 1 cubic centimeter, and this is from the article, of regular 18 karat gold, so the amount required to make a watch, cubic centimeter of 18 karat gold, contains 11.7 grams of actual gold. 1 cubic centimeter of Apple's 18 karat gold contains 5.43 grams of actual gold. Less than half the amount. And this is because carat is the percentage of the material by... Oh, sorry. Did I say by volume? I think it's by mass. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's the percentage of it. Takes up a bigger volume, blah, blah. Same weight ratio. Yeah, so percentage by mass is carat. And because the ceramic is so much lighter than silver, the volume is high, but the amount of gold in it is low, but the carat is high because the ceramic is less dense and lighter.
They should use aerogel.
Well, anyway, the point is your Apple Watch contains less than half as much actual gold as a regular 18 karat gold timepiece would be. So, personally, I'm not going to get all pissed off over this. It doesn't make sense to me to be all mad because Apple
You're
found
not going to buy it anyways.
I'm not going to buy it anyway, so that's a thing. But I wouldn't be upset anyway because Apple is effectively delivering what they're saying they're delivering, and they're making it more scratch resistant and harder, which is good if I'm investing in something like a watch that I expect to, have for 50 years, except that it's an Apple Watch, so I won't.
Whacking it against a door by accident, or I'll be carrying something and it'll grab it or whatever. Yeah.
I'll probably be thankful at some point that it's more durable.
Yeah.
But Someone's like, Linus, I came here for tech talk. I don't understand. Not mineral talk. I don't understand. Okay, well, don't worry too much about that. The point is, the Apple Watch doesn't have as much gold as you probably thought it did. Not that you cared, because you weren't going to buy it anyway. I certainly wasn't. All right, so I guess that's pretty much it. Should we move on to some actual tech here? Let's talk AVG working on identity protection glasses that have an invisible field that they put in front of your face to make it more difficult for face recognition to recognize you.
It's not an invisible field.
Well, it's invisible to the naked eye.
But it's not a field.
Whatever, you're not a field.
It's not even close to how it works.
Here's a picture.
Oh my goodness.
You want to talk about what's going on here?
So when it detects a flash or a camera taking a photo, it'll do the thing on the right. They already have clothes that do this. Mm-hmm. The material is covered in it. So when you take a photo of it, it glows like crazy and kind of pulls the light there instead of everywhere else, and makes it look like there's a darker zone around it. So it's very hard. If you saw the dude on the right, he looks a lot like the dude on the left.
Yeah.
But with 100% certainty, it's a guy with a beard.
And especially for software,
yeah.
where it's going to be designed to pick up landmarks on your face and then compare against something else, these are going to be a real bear for those to deal with, for sure. Now, to be clear, this is not technology that is available in a commercial product yet by any stretch of the imagination.
On the clothes, I think it is, just not in the glasses.
Yeah. So what are we calling it? So infrared lights and retroreflective materials on the surface of the glasses return the flash of the camera, and infrared lights obscure your face in a photo, since cameras pick it up but human eyes do not. So much like the night mode on your camcorder from the 80s or whatever, most things don't have a night mode these days, where they have an infrared lamp that illuminates the scene. These will have an infrared lamp that goes right in the camera's sensor and basically makes the image a complete mess. Super cool. And AVG figures this is an important step towards.
That's awesome.
For an important step due to evolving technologies like Facebook's deep face technology, which is an improved system for identifying faces.
I'd buy glasses that had these on it.
And that is a very good point, because I wouldn't go and buy these glasses. I don't want those glasses.
No.
But if Pearl Vision or whatever had,
Oh, it's an X dollar adder.
It's $30 for the face recognition blocking coding.
Love that. They love that. If you can have some little adder or whatever, it's only this much more. Glasses are a big investment. You might as well just do it.
They're right a lot of the time.
Exactly. I don't know. Glasses places don't have to be that pushy, because they're like, this is actually kind of a really good idea. And you're not going to buy another pair for a really long time.
Do you know how much money my parents saved getting Flex-On frames for my little brother when he was 8?
Yeah, probably tons.
He would have broken those glasses so many times.
And it's a little adder, so they make a little bit more money.
It's another $50 or $75 or whatever. Anyway. Yeah. Speaking of making another $50 here, another $75 there, AMD, Microsoft, and Sony and Nintendo are all going to be pretty happy as China has finally lifted its ban on game console sales.
COD bros are going to get wrecked.
Sorry, what?
I said COD bros are going to get wrecked. It
is, it's not like Chinese people weren't finding ways to buy consoles. It's estimated that, I forget who this is from, but an article I was reading, so don't quote me on it, estimated that 1 million game consoles are sold in China every year, even with the ban. But then, we're talking China with over 1 billion people. 1 million a year is nothing. This is going to be huge for anyone involved in selling game consoles. This could be a huge shot of adrenaline for all of the aforementioned companies. And AMD is a big one here, because for absolutely no extra R&D, and sure, it's at their contract price, which I'm sure is very, thrifty for Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, given that AMD won all of the bids against their rival NVIDIA.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little shot in the arm for AMD, because they get to move a bunch of volume of the chips that are powering all of the current gen consoles.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's almost completely untapped opportunity over there.
Sales bans on stuff like this are just stupid anyways.
So So it's nice to see China's sort of going, oh, well, I guess there's PC games too. I guess we're doing absolutely nothing to prevent people from playing games if that's the objective. I guess the goal of getting everyone to make all their consoles completely in China, and I think it was even restricted to, what was it, like one region? They wanted them to put all the factories. I remember like we had some discussion about this before. So blah blah blah. Okay, you know what? Forget it. Let's just let that business happen. Yeah. And awesome. Here's just kind of this is a very quick one. Original article here is from The Verge. I just thought this was kind of interesting.
I have input on this. We'll see where this goes.
All right. So Facebook. Did you post this in the Twitch chat?
I'm working on it.
Awesome. It's almost like we know how to run this show now.
Almost.
Maybe
in a couple more years.
We're not quite there yet. Yeah. Can you believe WAN show's been a thing for
it's really old
years now?
Like 3 years?
I know. I remember. It
started before the company started, didn't it?
Not as WAN show, but the live stream did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the live stream is almost 3 years old, I think. Like 2.5 years old now. You've been on the live stream for well over 2 years now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Facebook removes the feeling fat emoticon under pressure from online activists. So you can see there's kind of an online protest going on here. Fat is not a feeling. Hashtag thumbs down Facebook. I have an easy solution to this. Do you want to go first though?
But no, you do your solution first.
Why didn't they just change it to feeling bloated? Because sometimes I'm feeling bloated.
Okay. Mine ties into this very well. We had mono burritos.
Yeah.
I was feeling kind of fat. I guess bloated.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Luke and I each ate burritos. It's amazing this room is not a veritable gas chamber right now.
Maybe it is.
I've been holding it in, so...
Me too.
Okay, that's good. Let's both do that.
Keep working on that.
Keep doing that. We both ate burritos that
Big
are
ones.
like the size of a small mammal.
Yeah.
You know? And like
a fairly hefty small
full
mammal.
of beans and cheese and meat and like... Did we get exactly the same burrito?
Yes.
You just tell Nick to get whatever I get, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he never...
It's a good burrito!
Well, okay, he never told... I just told him, like, get something with chicken, and then I remember hearing him go through every possible ingredient with you, and you, like, spec'd it out, and I'm like, okay, well, that's probably gonna be better. So I was like, whatever. I'm too lazy to configure my own. And then it showed up, and I was like, yeah, it's better. So I have that one.
It's like we have a mind meld for food, because I went to a restaurant with him where, like... I actually tried. We always order the same thing. Like, one of us orders. Whoever's familiar orders, and then whoever's not familiar just gets the same thing. And I tried. I went through the menu, and I picked 2 things, and I was like, okay, Luke, I can't decide on these 2. Which one should I get? And he goes, those are the 2 I always get.
And I just rotate every time, because I don't really know which one I like more. Fantastic.
Terrible.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I really don't think this was a malicious thing. And like, okay, one thing that I thought was funny too is they're going after that, but I'm feeling ugly is still an option.
And to me, okay, I'm probably gonna offend someone because hashtag fat is not a feeling is definitely valid. Fat is a state of being, but not a feeling.
Right, it should have been bloated.
It should have been bloated, for one thing. Yeah. Feeling ugly is something that a far greater percentage of people are going to have a lesser degree of control over than their body fat percentage. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Feeling ugly, to me, should be much more offensive than feeling fat.
And the fight was over feeling fat, not feeling ugly, and feeling ugly is still on there.
And ugly is definitely not a feeling unless it's a self-esteem concern.
And, like, I can kind of get, like, there's probably a better term for it. Again, like there was with bloated.
Feeling disheveled.
Yes, there you go. Like, oh, I just got back from Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
And I look dead, and there's dirt all over me, and I'm
feeling
just
ugly.
Gross. I really need a shower, and I need a cat nap because I'm looking disgusting.
Yeah.
And, like, that's
what it means, and I hope we all understand that.
Yeah.
But if we're going to say, okay, no, the actual definition of the word from dictionary.com is the only thing that matters, then feeling ugly is a lot more offensive to me than feeling fat.
Makes way more sense. Or maybe even something else. I'd be fine with disheveled.
Maybe it's just because, like... Okay, you know what? Never mind. Apple's research kit did in 24 hours what would normally take 50 medical centers a year. This is pretty cool. And this is something that we glossed over a little bit when we had John Rettinger on, because this was a really, really like groundbreakingly cool announcement from the Apple press conference. Do you want to run through this while I scroll through the thing here?
I don't know enough about it. Again,
Okay,
I didn't have enough time. I'll go over a little bit. Basically, it's really expensive to run research programs. You have to get a whole bunch of institutes online.
Super expensive.
You have to try and get people to volunteer or pay them.
How are you going to get people to volunteer?
And
I would never volunteer.
For a medical experiment? Man, it's sketchy, right?
Or even a survey. They call me up, I'm like,
I don't have time for
off.
this, whatever. Yeah. So they're moving that away from these giant multi-million-dollar projects to, oh, well, you can just kind of do it on your phone, and it'll track things potentially automatically, and like you don't really have to worry about it. You just tap these two things. It'll track your workout schedules. It'll track whatever.
It tells you things like the condition of the air in the region you're in right now. Oh, there's a lot of big particles, a lot of small particles, a lot of this, dippity bloop. It gives you your heart age. It tracks your movement. I mean, that's a big problem. This is a great quote.
People will say things incorrectly. They'll lie to their doctors, and the iPhone can be like, actually, they were physical for this long this week, which is, say, 3 hours instead of the 16 that they reported.
Yeah, and this, so aside from inaccuracy being a major problem, the cost. So this is from the 9to5mac.com article. Apparently, and this blew me away, a typical Parkinson's research study with 800 participants over 5 years could cost $60 million.
Keeping track of them all, taking care of everybody.
The Parkinson's app had 5,589 participants as of the morning of March 10th.
Tuesday.
I mean, the kind of data. Is the data perfect? No. Is it better than asking someone like me, who I couldn't even tell you what my last meal was before the burrito? The only reason I remember I ate a burrito was that I can still taste it in my mouth every time I burp.
Yep.
Like, I don't remember that stuff. If you're like, oh, how many hours did you work out this week? I'd be like, 6. Is that right? Is that like what you want to hear? I don't know. So, and I know not everyone's as bad as me, but the point is, if it's just on your phone, something people habitually carry anyway, that's freaking awesome. And already, like, Stanford has piped up saying that this is meaningful and helpful, and they're not exactly a disreputable source on that kind of stuff. So
I'm super excited.
I think
I wish I had an option to do this on my
so
phone,
cool.
and I don't.
I mean, I'm sure Android's going to clone it, so there's that.
Will they, though?
Probably. Eventually. It might take a while.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything the iPhone had at launch that an Android phone doesn't do now? Let's look at it that way.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What would Google give to have all this data?
But Google seems to be going a different direction. Okay, yes. Winner!
You just got Trump carded, fool! Google wants the data, fool! Google wants the data!
I can't say anything against Google wanting more data. Just instantly lose that argument.
Yep, that was never an argument. You know what? Sometimes we have arguments on this show where I'm like, he's gonna win this one, or he might win this one. But we were going. No. I was holding that Trump card.
Were you?
I was holding that Trump card. Yeah, I was ready to play that Trump card.
Someone asked me when I was doing the troll. Okay, one thing that people don't seem to understand. There's a few things that blow my mind that people don't understand. One, all the people that I was trolling at PAX East definitely knew who I was. Every single person in that video.
That one was awesome.
The guy that trolled me.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Every single one of those guys in that video or ladies approached me and said hi and wanted signatures.
That was the idea. That was the whole idea. Is I was like, when Luke and I were planning this, we were like, okay, how do we pick people to troll? And it was anyone who walks up to Luke is gonna get trolled.
Yeah,
that's how it worked.
I would preface it. I would be like, I'm going to be a dick. This is gonna suck. It's not going to be great. I told them, honestly, I want you to attack me. I want you to throw back.
But they all went for it.
Too nice.
They all went for it because you were like, because you get to be in a Linus Tech Tips video.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, man.
And I'm like, but you don't understand.
And then you were just like a jerk. Yeah. I didn't think you had it in you.
It took a little bit.
I didn't think you had it in you.
There's a few interviews in there that didn't actually make it that are in the very beginning because I was being too nice. And I had to be like, okay. And the thing is, what you don't see is after every one of those interviews, where I'm like, we get to not a proper end, but I'm just like, okay, I have to stop. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I'd apologize and shake their hands, and I'd hang out with everybody afterwards and just talk about the actual conversation instead of this just trolley rant.
Yeah.
And then it was actually a lot more friendly than it appeared. I don't remember what I was going with this. Right, but the reason why I was so good at that was because of this.
Oh, sitting and talking to me all day?
100%. Because I'll have to devil's advocate something, and I'll believe in it not at all. But, like, to make the conversation interesting, I'll have to just start throwing things in the air so that you can defend them, or I'll have to defend something because you'll be throwing things in the air. And, like, it made it so that I could more on the spot come up with things.
Oh, man.
Which is hilarious.
That's
but
great.
yeah, the whole time I was sitting there, I'm like, this is very WAN showy.
All right, speaking of WAN Show, the WAN Show wouldn't be possible without sponsors like lynda.com. lynda.com/WAN Show. You know what? Normally we get kind of goofy about the sponsor spot, so I'm gonna do serious reads today.
Okay.
I'm gonna see how that goes. Why is lynda.com important? Lynda.com is important because it's a great way to improve your skills, whether it's at a hobby or whether it's at making more money and getting a more like respectable career, like a better career off the ground. Lynda.com is absolutely awesome, whether it's photography, video editing, business. I cannot overstate I cannot overstate the importance of business acumen in life. So much of what I do here at Linus Media Group as a video creator actually stems from what I learned about business, working at NCIX for all those years, being involved in business decisions and interacting with people. Lynda.com has professional instructors, they have experts, they have new courses added every week. You learn completely at your own pace, and basically it's good vibes all around. It's reasonably priced, and you can get a 10-day free trial by visiting lynda.com/WANshow to find out if you're into it or not. Next up, we've got Squarespace. Squarespace is straight up awesome dudes as well. And I've been promising that like awesome Squarespace testimonial for the longest time. I finally found it. Okay, this is the best Squarespace endorsement I have ever seen. And aside from that, Squarespace is a site that lets you make a website and stuff like that is good. I'm not going to say too much about it other than this. I'm going to read this. I really enjoyed using Squarespace and understand how they, Linus and Luke, recommend it time and time again. I'm not sponsored, and I will be recommending it to friends and family as well. But the real point of this post is I want you all to look at my site and tell me what you think. Tell me where I could change wording, design, services. I'm doing this on the side while I'm in college right now for a CIS degree, and I still want to make this the best I can. I don't know if anyone in LMG will see this. We did.
Yeah.
Yo, man. But you guys are always talking about showing a viewer Squarespace site on the WAN show, and I would honestly be honored. It would help me a lot because I know there's a lot of viewers in Portland and whatnot. The point of this was not to be an ad, but if you're reading this and in Portland, Oregon, feel free to inquire about services. Okay, well, I hadn't remembered that he wrote that, so we'll just leave that out. But
we'll ignore that part, I guess.
whatever. Way to go,
Code
Simon.
of conduct, something.
Yeah, code of conduct on the forum, whatever. All right, so here's simonpdx.com, and there you go. Tech support, nice little site, all functional. You just go ahead, you click it. It's responsive design, so it's going to work on a phone. It's going to work on whatever else. He didn't use the Getty Images thing where you can like get better images, but other than the images not being like necessarily the best images, overall functional site, responsive site, easy to do. Squarespace.com, highly recommended. And then the last sponsor today, Dollar Shave Club. We don't have any hijinks. Yeah, okay, Didn't I even get them to...
You don't have to use a shaver for your whole face.
Okay, well, whatever. The point is, I look all right. So Dollar Shave Club is all about looking good.
I don't think that looks fine.
All right, you look fine. And he shaves part of his face. So
if I didn't shave at all, it would be like down to here, no joke, and it would be like up to here everywhere.
Which is like mountain man kind of look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's good about Dollar Shave Club is basically you pay a few bucks a month and they deliver razors or other bathroom supplies directly to your door. They're reasonably priced. The only things they've changed about their rates in the last little while are outside of the US. According to the currency exchange rate shift, they have changed the rates in countries like Canada. But what I love about Dollar Shave Club is that they operate on a principle of, okay, here's the amount of money we think we deserve to make for our service, and we're not just going to give Canadians the old, this just because we can.
Which happens a lot.
Which happens a lot, where things will have an MSRP that's like books are a big one. 50% higher MSRP just because Canada, even when the exchange rate is near par. Dollar Shave Club is all about fair treatment and a good quality product to your door. So they got razors, they've got their shaving butter, they've got their aftershave, they've got their One Wipe Charlie's butt wipes for men, which are peppermint scented, just in case you want your, O-ring to
Someone at
sparkle
PAX
and
East,
smell nice.
Well, was gonna give me one of his spares. No joke. I saw him in the Oculus lineup. He was like, "Hey!" So I ran over.
Did he
and
want you to
said
sign
hi.
it?
No. He was like, "Just do you want one? I have an extra one." And I'm like, "I'm good."
It's sealed, but I still wouldn't share
Right?
butt wipes with someone I've never met before.
It is sealed though.
I'd
They're
share butt wipes
individually
with you.
sealed. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay,
But-
we said we were going to say stay serious. I wrecked it.
Oh.
The butt wipes always brings out the... Anyway,
almost made it.
dollarshaveclub.com/Linus.
That was like 85% through the total.
I don't think I've ever made it through a Dollar Shave Club spot while maintaining my professionalism.
Look at their commercial.
I know. They bring it on themselves. Linda doesn't bring it on themselves.
No.
But we do it
And
anyway.
Squarespace doesn't either.
But I did them all nicely today.
Squarespace
so
might put everyone to sleep.
if you're the kinds of people... Well, okay. The
the
whole
sleep
Jeff
pics.
Bridges thing was hilarious.
Okay, 3 or 4 of those tracks are actually pretty interesting. The rest are kind of just
The
crazy
rest
kind
are
of-
Ridiculous. Some of them you could sleep to.
Yes.
Some of them are creepy.
Yeah.
Like, so creepy. Like, bizarre. All right.
Oh man.
Let's move on. We've done all of our sponsor stuff. They're all good folks. All of those guys are some of the longest term sponsors we've had.
Mm-hmm. And WAN show guys.
Yeah.
They've all supported the WAN show for a really long time, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's awesome, because WAN Show's a cool program. People should support it and watch
Yeah.
it. All right, speaking of support, Valve was given an F in customer service by the Better Business Bureau.
Is
and
this surprising
this
at all?
is awesome. The awesome thing about this is not that Valve got an F. That's not the awesome part. That is the completely expected part.
Yes.
So this is the original article here is from Kotaku, and it's actually a pretty fun read. But the best part is this response from Valve Business Development Authority Eric Johnson. Valve doesn't really consider the Better Business Bureau a priority. The BBB is far less useful proxy for customer issues than Reddit. We don't use them for much. They don't provide us something as useful of data as customers emailing us, posting on Reddit, posting on Twitter, and so on. What? Your crap BBB rating is for the 717 complaints that were filed against the business and the failure to respond to 502 of them. Talking about how, Twitter and Reddit are better, all that means is you're not paying attention unless it's posted in public.
Yeah.
That is bullshit.
Yeah.
That is nonsense.
Valve support is terrible.
That is crap. That is basically Valve saying, we don't care because it wasn't posted in public. That was why we didn't bother to respond. Shame on you, Valve. We love Valve as much as anyone, but that response was awful. That was the worst thing Valve could have said.
Steam is fantastic, but if you've ever had a problem with anything to do with your Steam account, you know the odd kind of gross taste in the back of your mouth every time that you worry anything is going wrong with your Steam account, because you're screwed. The chance of getting a response even through Steam's
It comes eventually. I always get one.
a month later.
But it's slow.
I've actually had them weeks later. And I'm like, dude, I'm a paying customer. I have hundreds of games. I am very much a paying customer. I've used your service a lot.
Yep.
And the fact that I can't get help at all for weeks is insane.
Yep. And the fact that you have enough money to invest in customer service. I mean, it's one thing. We can talk about, we griped about OnePlus. But when we griped about OnePlus's customer service, we griped about their business model. Yeah. And their business model, that we should have all seen this coming, because they're selling a phone at no margin. How were they possibly going to support it? With Valve, they can use some of their hat money to support their customers. I don't think that should be an issue. So that's the problem.
Weird? We love Steam. Steam is fantastic. Valve is great. Their customer support is absolute garbage, but they're great. We hate EA. and they're garbage, but their support is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you decide to buy one of their games...
To be clear, their policies
yes.
are garbage.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that we had to contact their support to
Is
get
terrible.
more activations for a game that is
properly
DRM'd
owned.
through their client.
Yeah.
The fact that we had to get more activations in order to change hardware configs on it is
disgusting.
rubbish.
Yeah.
But the fact that they dealt with it
really quickly and were super nice
professionally,
about it.
and they
the
were
guy was
nice.
like, "Oh, sorry, we're going to upgrade the."
I could talk to someone on the
game
phone.
value you have. Yeah, it was on the phone.
Yeah,
He gave me the deluxe edition or whatever.
Yeah, it said sorry for the trouble. Here's the digital deluxe version. They did right by us.
Yeah.
Whereas
After
Valve,
the phone call, I was like, "All right, that was actually kind of." It took a little while.
Yeah.
But a little while was like an hour instead of like 2 or 3 weeks.
that's right.
Which is a huge difference. Because I was able to just put my phone on speaker and just do whatever on my computer and wait until they...
Like, I'm okay
finally
waiting
talk to
on
me.
hold as long as someone's going to deal with it at some point here.
Yeah, and they were all super nice. There was 2 different people I talked to on the phone.
Yep.
They were both super... The first lady was like, this is way above me. I've never even heard of activation issues before.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move you on immediately. And then the dude after that was like, oh, yeah, we don't usually run into this, but I don't know, I can... Okay, done.
So basically, shame on you, Valve, for not caring. And I've got people in Twitch chat saying, oh, the BBB is crap because they can't get companies to do stuff. Well, companies like Valve not giving a crap about their BBB rating is the only reason the BBB wouldn't be able to do something through them. Because basically that's what a BBB rating means. It means that that company did crap when the BBB contacted them. Because I worked at NCIX, and NCIX has a good Better Business Bureau rating. Because when a BBB complaint comes in, it was like, it got escalated immediately. That is how a BBB complaint should be treated. It shouldn't have to be public in order for something to get escalated and dealt with. That's wrong. That's a completely wrong outlook. So, yeah. All right, let's move on to this Tech Report article. Scott Wasson and those Tech Report mad scientists, those guys, they were determined for science to kill half a dozen SSDs. So they had a Corsair Neutron GTX, an Intel 335 series, a Samsung 840 series, an 840 Pro, and 2 Kingston HyperX 3K 240 gigs. Actually, they're all 240 to 256 class drives. And what they did was they set them up on a test bench to run over and over and over again, Anvil's just random data 10 terabyte write thing. So basically the idea was they were going to kind of go, okay, well, hey, these drives are rated at X number of terabytes according to the resiliency of the flash, and well, let's see how far they go. So let's drop in on the finished graph here. This is a really cool article. The coolest thing about this is that it took 18 months to wear out the SSDs, literally writing to them constantly. So let's go ahead and I'm not sure if I'm actually looking at the right one. Casualties on the way. Oh, here we go. I was looking at the original article there. So that showed all the SSDs. This one has a really great summary. They did such a good job of this. And the point of this wasn't which one of these SSDs to buy. In fact, many of these are not even that great options by today's standards because they're from old. 18 months ago.
Can you even buy all of them?
No. The point of this, and you guys should definitely check it out on the Tech Report podcast later on if you want to hear them really talk about all the analytics. But the point of this was, are SSDs reliable? Can we count on them, or should we treat them like some hard drive makers, particularly at the beginning when they were feeling very threatened by SSD, were treating them like, oh, they have this like countdown timer. It's like crap. What's that status in Final Fantasy VI where you have a timer on you, and when it counts down, Doom gets cast? Condemned. Yeah. Condemned. Like that was how we were expected to look at SSDs, and in reality, maybe not. So these are the ones that failed first. You can see the Intel 335 had no reallocated sectors up to 700 terabytes. And the only reason that one failed was actually because Intel builds in a countdown timer that says, okay, we don't trust this flash anymore. This is such an Intel thing to do. Like, you're way beyond what this drive was supposed to do. We don't trust that, like, you're beyond what we said it would do into what we think feasibly it can't do any more than this, or, like, at least not reliably. But, like, we think they can all get here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's such an Intel thing to do.
Yeah.
It turns off, it goes into read-only mode, so you can pull all the data off it, then it bricks itself. So, like,
It's
I'm not
kinda
sure.
cool.
Like,
I'm actually okay with that, to be honest.
I'm mostly okay with that because a lot of users wouldn't know how to deal with reallocated sectors or disk
Yeah,
write errors.
yeah.
Okay, so reallocated sectors.
And the failure of a like hard drive spitting out for the last time and a SSD
Yeah.
frying off are very different.
So the first one was, I think, what was it? 100. Yeah, 100 at 100 terabytes started having to reallocate sectors, and this is a TLC NAND drive, so that's the 840, but didn't actually start to output errors until around 900 terabytes. Okay, I think the first one to die was the Intel Write, and the second one was one of the HyperX 3Ks, it looks like, and that one made it to 800 terabytes. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. At least the data was still. If the HyperX didn't respond after a reboot, and Kingston said the drive won't boot if its NAND reserve has been exhausted. All right, the next one was for the 840 series. The Neutron GTX didn't actually reallocate any sectors until suddenly at 1.1 petabytes, it finally was
Insane.
like, it spat out a bunch of errors and died. And then there were the two that lasted. And these ones both went past 2 petabytes. So the HyperX, right here, yeah, Kingston HyperX 3K 240 gigs. So they were able to compress a lot of the writes, which actually helps with NAND
I'm going to
wearing
pause
out
for
a
1 second.
lot.
A lot of people in the Twitch chat don't understand what the Intel thing did. I recommend going and actually reading the website.
Yeah, go read the
because
article.
A lot of you are saying misinformation.
Yeah.
A huge amount of people in the Twitch chat don't get it.
So yeah, you guys do need to understand that.
Check out the Tech Reports article.
So anyway, the point is SSDs are not as fragile as we thought they were. Even TLC SSDs are able to handle way more than we thought they were able to. And 6 is still a small sample size, but every single one of those 6 was able to last well beyond its expected life and well beyond what any normal consumer would possibly be able to do to this drive within its reasonable lifespan. So I thought that was just a super cool article from the Tech Report, and I'm amazed. I think it's so cool that they stuck with it for 18 months.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
I think that's just awesome.
I'm happy there wasn't any like catastrophic issues.
I actually have an idea for a similar long-term test that I want to do. Had I talked to you about this?
I don't think so.
I want to do push or positive pressure versus negative pressure versus even airflow in and out, and dust filters, and then see after like a year or 2 years which one's actually the dustiest. Real world, man.
Interesting.
Which I think would be pretty cool.
We could definitely do that in a new office.
Totally do it.
There'd be space.
We need a sponsor for like case and like fans, and then we could just put some like old motherboards in it or whatever. Like it wouldn't have to
Yeah.
be like even working hardware.
Yeah.
We just want to see
yeah.
how dusty it gets.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got on the show today? We don't have much time because we got to take off out of here to go film Channel Super Fun. We're gonna do drone racing in the new warehouse, which is gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be interesting. Drones won't last that long. Hopefully it works well.
Oh,
Yeah, I just saw that too.
oh, you guys need to see this. We finally have a new t-shirt design, and I think this might be the best one yet. This was made by Jack Sack, the guy who does a lot of the fan art based on the WAN show.
Yeah.
And I really love this design. I absolutely love it. So
What?
what just happened?
Responsive design, man.
Yes, Teespring needs to use Squarespace or something. All right, so this is the oh man, okay, well there you
That
can
works.
kind of see it better over
There
there.
you go, that's
There's the design. Are you hardcore? Do you stay up late? This is the shirt for you.
I should get this shirt and then do another 24-hour charity stream.
Absolutely. So this is over on teespring.com/SIFP for
Apparently it's IE, not the site.
people are like
Correct.
people are like, are we vulgar? What do you mean vulgar?
How are we?
There's a cat. We're talking
Yeah.
about the cat on
There's
his
a
head.
cat
It's
on his
sleeping.
head.
Sleeping cat. Why? What were you
The
thinking?
cat is asleep.
And
Therefore,
he's drinking.
not.
He's drinking LTT Dew.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love this design. I'm definitely getting a hoodie for this one. That's my thing. Is I just buy hoodies for all of them now.
Really?
So yeah, I'm gonna have the hoodie collection. I've got the Highlander hoodie. I've got the Keep on Digging hoodie. And
I
I'm
really
gonna buy
wish I
them all
got the
from now
Highlander
on.
hoodie. I'm pretty cheesed that I didn't.
That was like, yeah, you.
We
failed.
still have the art asset for that, right?
Yeah.
I might like ghetto make.
You
one.
could still ghetto make
Yeah,
one, but
yeah.
mine will be original. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll always be a little.
I've
better
got the.
than you
That's my favorite
when I wear it.
T-shirt of ours.
It looks really good.
It does.
It looks
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why it is that wearing like Corsair, Intel, and Asus logos feels so good.
And like,
It's
and
that
like
shirt, the design is
Highlander
good.
and the mountain and stuff. It looks sick. We
I
still
think it
gotta
looks
figure out
great.
what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we got to do like some kind of like new world record attempt or something
Yeah.
like that for this year. No idea what that's gonna look like, but
I still want to do like link cable Pokemon battle while skydiving. Or something. I don't know.
are you high,
I don't know.
Lander?
Oh!
You were at one point. This is potentially very cool news. MediaTek to license AMD graphics. What?
Blah, blah, blah.
It's almost like they want to be a Snapdragon competitor. AMD knows a thing or two, although you wouldn't know it from their flagship desktop parts, about power efficiency and graphics. Although you would know that they know a thing or two about graphics. It's the power efficiency that I was kind of ribbing them about.
Yes.
AMD knows a thing or two about graphics. MediaTek's CPUs are getting a lot better than they used to be. Interesting. So it could be Qualcomm plus Qualcomm, CPU, GPU, Intel plus Intel, MediaTek plus AMD. That could make for, like, think about this. Because remember, MediaTek's high end is not necessarily going to go toe-to-toe with Intel or Qualcomm's high
I
end.
don't have to.
But this could be a mid-range part that kicks butt and is a great value.
That could be really cool.
I am super stoked to see what new developments come out of this story right here.
Yeah.
Also, this, apparently the original, that was posted by Opcode on the forum. Oh, I'm really sorry if there's people who I've been forgetting. Do you want to go back? Do you want to go back and just do a round of that?
All right, that'll take me a sec.
This one was posted by CM2546, and I'm going to run through this while Luke compiles the names there. So originally, Tom's Hardware posted an article claiming to have an inside source at Microsoft saying that NVIDIA and AMD multi-GPU configurations would be possible. So, blah, 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 was talking to a Microsoft rep. Will blah 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 etc. between NVIDIA and Intel, AMD, sorry, hello. Upon checking, it will support multi-GPU configurations between NVIDIA and AMD, DirectX 12. Now, since then, there have actually been articles written with this post from CM2546 as the source, but I don't know if maybe that rep was just confirming that NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards would work in the same system in much the same way that they already do today, or if they would actually be able to render part of a frame and render another part of a frame and actually work together. Because I can assure you guys that if NVIDIA has any say in it, that will not work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, to actually use both of them
You
to
can't
render
even
at the same
install
time.
NVIDIA drivers while you have CCC running.
Yeah, I mean, you can install it and then restart, and CCC can run.
Yeah, you can kill CCC and then install the NVIDIA driver and then
Yeah.
launch it again or whatever. But like,
But if NVIDIA can do anything to make that not work, they will.
and I'm pretty freaking sure they could.
I'm pretty sure that they can.
So there's that.
Where is my Twitch chat? Why am I in... What is going on here? I thought I had...
Learn to computer.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so, wait, did I not... I never posted the Teespring campaign. Okay, well, I'll do that after. In the meantime, there's a YouTube video that we did. This was awesome. I, like, barely slept that week. Speaking of the Sleep is for Pussies t-shirt. YouTube video that I did where I had SLI and Crossfire running in the same PC at the same time. You couldn't run a game on both of them at the same time, and that is rumored to be a feature of DirectX 12, but you could have them both in the same PC and you could switch between them, no problem. I will be very surprised if that's ever
NVIDIA
a
could
thing.
easily do essentially always on DRM, where it checks for CCC more often than just on the installer.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, you look at how hard NVIDIA has worked to block PhysX from being used.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're willing to buy both and put them in the system, they're like, nope. .jpeg.
Yeah.
Forget it, bro.
So, quick, shout out round. We've got Victoria's Secret, Exilaire, Opcode, Zero Mind, Red Round 2, Johners, Ming, Big Stroons, Zirid's Best?
You tried, bro.
Zirid's Best?
XRYZ best.
And CM2546.
Okay. I guess... Oh, the FC... Oh, this is cool. Engadget article. I'm not going to talk about this for long, but FCC released their 400-page document. So the whole Republican... It's a document nobody can see, so I wish I could tell you about how horrible it is, but I can't.
Well, they released it after it was voted in or whatever, didn't they? So
Yes.
it's still...
But it's not like we're not able to see it, and it's not like we're not able to get all mad
Yes.
if it's bad now.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
true.
that. Did you post this already?
The FCC thing, no.
No. All right, I'm blasting my way through the last few.
We don't. The whole idea of rapid fire is that we don't technically have to do all of them. That was why we created.
Yeah. Oh
that
no, I'm
system.
just seeing if there's any that I think are
Okay.
interesting. There's a new Chromebook Pixel, whatever. The Star Citizen client is rumored to be around 100 gigs,
Cool.
which hopefully is more than just uncompressed Titanfall textures.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning into the WAN show.
No.
No after party today because we have to go
No.
race drones around in an empty warehouse.
Yeah.
And last week will be my last week on WAN show.
Next week.
For last week. Yeah, next week will be my last week on WAN show for 3 weeks. I am going to Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Brunei, and Japan. I'm gone for 3 weeks, 2 weeks of which is a family trip. We're going to see my wife's relatives who are scattered all over Southeast Asia. And then the last sort of 5 days of which is going to be a trip to Japan to check out the Omron factory. So we're going to be doing another factory tour, which is extremely exciting.
We might have a WAN show. It might be 2.
2 only?
Because the third one would be when we're in Japan, right? We
Oh.
might try to do WAN
Okay,
from
I might
Japan.
only be gone 2 weeks then.
I really want to do WAN from Japan.
WAN from Japan?
I really want to get that done.
Okay,
It
we'll
just
try.
sounds awesome.
We'll try. I heard they have good internet there, so it
We
should
have
be
the WAN
fine.
from Japan.
All
Like,
right.
we just,
Thank you for tuning in, all 7,000 of you. We had an
Yes.
unbelievable show today.
it's awesome. Especially because
really-
the time zone changes and everything. People showed up.
I think it was that awesome guest. Did you see the audience figures while John was on?
I did, yes.
Yeah, we should have him more often. I said this last time. I was like,
You
we should
say
bring
that
him
every
on.
time.
I was like, we should bring him on right away. It's been over a year.
Wow, that's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We should get him hooked up for the video collaboration or scrap.
Yeah,
Yard
we
Wars
gotta do
or that
we gotta
other
do
thing
something.
or something.
Although someone else, I'm not gonna say who, but someone else has already called dibs on the first celebrity guest. So we are already planning Scrapyard Wars Round 2, and we already have a celebrity guest lined up who is going to be familiar to a lot of you guys and is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching WAN Show, guys. We will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
See ya.
Oh right, I never posted the shirt, the Sleepers for Pussy shirt link.
the shirt.
You guys should definitely go check out the shirt. It's a Teespring campaign, so it's only available for a limited amount of time, etc., etc. Buy now while quantities last. This limited edition design.
It's fantastic.
Or you'll never have it, and your friends will rub it in your face all day, like the Highlander hoodie.
Oh. I'm sad. Maybe if a heart got... no, I'm dead.
I've got people speculating that it'll be Jennifer Lawrence.
Luke clone.
Tim Cook.
Austin Evans nipple.
Just the nipple.
Just the nipple.
Lynda.com. Squarespace. Dollar Shave Club.